Hello there. Good evening. As per the usual, I will continue the conversation of my personal opinions of the Ukraine-Russian war. Um, as I've said a few times, I do not condone the actions of Russia. However, I believe it is important to understand why, and that is the most important question. Um, because the Western media is lying about Russia's interest in it. You have to look far and wide to really get any kind of idea of why the Russians are doing what they're doing. Some say it's to resuscitate a Soviet Union type structure for the Russians, territorial expansion, bitterness amongst themselves with the Ukrainian people. Um, I do believe it is an aspect of an economic one where um, the Black Sea is worth quite a bit. It's a strategic point, and then there's obviously where people are saying Putin's gone mad because of his cancer diagnosis. Um, there are other factors as well that people say, well, they feel as though the West is creeping in on them, and they are anyway. Um, I actually believe if Donald Trump had remained president, that the Russians would not have launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, because it was Russian backing that helped got Donald Trump into presidency in the first place, and there are so many diehard anti-Soviet old men essentially in the White House. They're everywhere. And, not everything about Russia is all hunky dory. But a reason that's overlooked is the potential of a second Slavic empire, a Yugoslavia type one. It wouldn't have exactly the same countries in it, per se, but it may have ones like Poland, Estonia, Lithuania. Um, who knows? Ukraine would not be the economic hub, but it might be the driving force to ascertain weapons from Silicon Valley in order to build this new body of Slavic nations. And that would be immediately a direct rival, if not outright enemy, towards the Russian Federation. And, the East is very poor. They have been for a long time. They only had, energy resources and iron ore and, just that sort of stuff. Back in World War II times up until probably the mid-Cold War. The Soviets, like all nations, squandered their energy resources and their ability to construct things with iron ore or whatever other materials. Because people back then, when they were building stuff, reliability and, being rational with your resources wasn't part of the agenda. And now the real question is, how much energy resources do the Russians really have? And I'm not convinced the West really knows, and I'm not convinced that most people even ask. But at any rate, a second Slavic empire next to the Russian Federation is definitely not a good thing. Um, there is arguments on both sides, and I do not believe the Ukrainians will get Silicon Valley type technology in the field of weaponry. Um, they shouldn't, as a matter of fact. And this supposed second Yugoslavia type empire, I would make the argument that it should not exist. A lot of these nations are grateful for NATO, um, and for the time being, they're fine. But supposing they do create this second Slavic empire, they know they will always play second fiddle to the Western democracies. Um, when it comes to resource gathering, whether it be foodstuffs, big tech, the ability to control the region and make decisions, and they have to go along with it. Let's face facts. Those countries I mentioned will always play second fiddle. They will always get the last decision on the last ability to make a decision on those type of subjects. So that could turn into resentment. Not right away, but 50 years from now it might do. Because this is for the long run. I don't know. I would figure a rivaling power there may even change course and want to destroy Russia. I mean, they wouldn't be the first people that wanted to do that. And it's, Zelensky looks like a, modest, reasonable character. But behind closed doors, he has high-ranking military officials for the Ukrainian army who are not nice and pleasant, just as the Russians also have ones that are not nice and pleasant. That's just the reality of it. Justin Trudeau has many, many people working for him that are nasty and unpleasant. That's how governments work. I'm not saying it's the good thing, and I really hate sanctimonianism. It's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like people who pretend they're doing good when really they're doing bad things. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. And I gotta say, I would wish that the Russians went back to Russia and, not forget this war, but, put it in the cupboard and leave it there. And Ukraine can rebuild and not ascertain any significant hardware from the mostly it would be from the U.S. because they're the leading weapons manufacturers. China has built some jet fighter craft that are capable, and who knows how far that rabbit hole goes. We do have to hope that there isn't an anaconda at the end of it, though, because that is rather a terrifying thing. And I gotta tell you, as a Canadian, I have the Union Jack here, but I was born in Canada, even though I don't really feel like one, and England is my home country. Anyway, yeah, living in Canada, you realize how gutless most people are and how cowardly they are, and the very concept of a determined army coming to get us would terrify people. So that's why they don't talk about it, and most people don't think about it. They're worried about gas prices. They're going, well, it's taking me longer to get my package from Amazon than it used to, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about your problem. You're a whiny little baby and you're an idiot. Anyway, so think about it. Second Slavic Empire within Russian borders with probably the idea of conquering Russia, and then, the peace and gratitude from NATO and the U.S. will slowly dissipate because, as I said, they know they will always play second fiddle and therefore get less resources. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that and have a thought about it. It's definitely an idea worth considering. Anyway, good day.